Hello beautiful friends, welcome back to the channel. I hope you're having an awesome day today. So we are back out in the garden and we're heading to the front corner here because we have some potato starts that we need to get into our raised beds over here. So let's go on ahead and show you how to do this in your small space garden, because honestly, potatoes are actually a really fun crop to grow, especially if you're a beginner. They're really dramatic and they're super easy. So let's go on ahead and get into this, okay? Okay, so I have some different examples here of some ideas for you to use seed potatoes. Now, I have, of course, gotten from the local garden center seed potatoes. As you can see, they've got eyes, they're growing, they're potatoing, they're trying to potato. They're trying to make babies. But there's another thing that you can do. If you do not have access, or if, say, you just don't have the money to get seed potatoes, granted seed potatoes aren't very expensive, there's one of two things that you can do. Number one, you can take these guys and wherever you see these growths, you can kind of cut them apart and then have multiple plants from which to grow potatoes. The other thing that you can do is you can actually take potatoes that you have gotten from the store, as long as they are not sprayed with a growth inhibitor, and you'll know because potatoes that don't do this but just get wrinkly, they've been sprayed with a growth inhibitor that prevents them from, well, making plants. So this is an organic, non-GMO, basically little potato that I didn't end up finishing off, and they have all started to try and make babies. So we're going to go on ahead and we're going to plant as many of them as look viable, such as this one, into our raised bed here with our other seed potatoes. This is a very inexpensive way to not maybe throw out those really expensive potatoes that you let go because you just didn't get to eating them in time. So there's some ideas on inexpensive ways to grow potatoes in your small space garden. Let me turn you around. Okay friends, so I have gone on ahead and I have already prepped this bed. So potatoes can be heavy feeders, so I did go on ahead and I put in an entire bag of compost and manure here. But all I'm going to do is just bury these guys down, what was that, about 1.5 to 2 inches. And we're just going to cover it up. And as I said, you can always take your seed potatoes and divide them where you see the growths and then spread them out from there. I'm not going to worry about that because I've got quite a few of these little guys from those potatoes that I said I did not end up finishing off. So I'm not overly worried. Now these guys, since they are smaller, I'm only going to go down about 1 inch or so. They are going to go down naturally, and when they can't go down, they'll come up. So I don't worry too much about depth, because potatoes, well, they're really adaptive. This is an easy crop to grow. You can pretty much understand why they grow them in places that are rocky and unfriendly towards other crops. And I'm spacing them out about 3.5, maybe 4 inches, especially since these guys are going to give us a smaller potato anyway. They're not quite a fingerling. This one, just do that. Okay, and that's it. We're done, guys. Okay, so now the only thing that I need to do is I need to go on ahead and get these guys watered in. Other than that, they are set to grow for the season. So as far as treatment goes throughout the year, I'm just going to make sure to water them well. I'm going to make sure that as the season goes on, I don't see any pests popping up, any damage that way, nobody nibbling on the leaves, which we usually don't have a whole lot of since we figured out a nice organic spray. It's a horticultural oil and a copper fungicide, and it has been taking care of the majority of all of our massive pest problems that we have experienced in our area, just because we're so warm throughout the year, we never get cold enough to kill off all the pests. So, all of that being said, this is one of the easiest crops to grow. Not only can you grow this in a raised bed, you can grow this in grow bags. You can put this in pots and grow them in pots. And I'll link videos here where I am showing you how to do that. You can grow them in straw bales. There are so many options when it comes to potatoes in small spaces. You can even grow them in a green stalk. So if you guys have green stalks like what I've got back here in the back, try growing some in a green stalk and see what happens. Nothing ventured, nothing gained when it comes to small space gardening, guys. So if you have any questions about growing potatoes, go on ahead and drop me a link or drop me a question down below. I would be happy to help you as best I can with the knowledge that I have. And don't forget, I have a live class happening March 30th. So it's called From Seed to Harvest, and I'm going to walk you through growing small space bounty this year in live classes. So if you are interested in learning to grow a lot of food in a small amount of space, these classes that I'm going to be doing this year are for you. And the good news is there's also a Q&A portion, so if you have any questions, we get to kind of hash it out. So yeah, it'll be a lot of fun, and it's a great way to grow the community. All right, so as always, keep it simple, natural, and essential. We'll see you on the next video. Bye.